There's more than 12,000 chambers of commerce around the world at a local, regional, national and transnational level. ICC and through WCF have chambers as members in over 130 countries, but there's a chamber everywhere, and much of our role is to try and connect with those chambers, no matter whether they're a member or not, to attract them to the work of the Federation, as well as that of the ICC. Bringing together those chamber community would be millions and millions of businesses, primarily small to medium-sized businesses. For ICCWCF, it is our biggest family reunion for our organisation. It brought together delegates primarily from heads of chambers of commerce, but also their business community from over 100 nations to Sydney, Australia, which for many was the furthest place on the planet for them to get to. But we saw chambers coming from the least developed countries, thanks to the help of the New South Wales Business Chamber, which made the event truly an inclusive event for the business community of all sizes. The event actually, I think, had a number of important milestones for us within the chamber community to address, and certainly issues that are also at the heart of ICC's agenda as well. Issues such as sustainability, technology, a world of tomorrow, particularly from a geopolitical sense, issues of mobility and workforce development, which is very much at the heart of a chamber agenda. There's also a unique occasion for chambers to showcase the types of services they're developing and delivering, and we have a very successful World Chambers competition which recognised some of the best from the peers judging each other of the way chambers are innovating and changing the way they need to be relevant for tomorrow. So a very exciting event, and our next event is in Rio de Janeiro in 2019 from the 12th to the 14th of June. So a very exciting time, and certainly something the chamber community from all around the world and for the ICC look forward to connecting with this important part of our global network.
Well, ICC's role is to work with its members around the world to come together and bring up rules and codes and best practices for business. We're developing a lot of tools for different size companies, but the fundamental, I think, basis for ICC has always been free and open trade. And for businesses to be successful, they need investment. And to get investment, you need confidence. And especially foreign investment. Foreign investors will not come if there's no confidence. And also a certain degree of compliance. So what we do at ICC is we create an environment where companies can follow a certain number of best practices, and that we feel will increase the confidence in investing in businesses. We think there are some big and quite urgent priorities for all of our partner organizations. The first one would be the impact of digitalization, what e-commerce will do for business, especially for small business. And it's a great opportunity for small businesses. But there's also what would be the impact on jobs through artificial intelligence and through greater digitalization. So we have to weigh up the opportunities and the risks. The other priority is the impact on the planet. Ukraine is one of the 195 countries that signed the Paris Climate Agreement. We believe that business and industry has a role in developing responsible business practices, where we can maybe not correct some of the damage of the past, but we can certainly act more responsibly. And the big strength of ICCWCF is the network. We're present in over 130 countries around the world. So and what we would like very much is for the chamber, Ukrainian chamber, and I know they do that very well and you do that already, is to work very much with your partners around the world, either in a direct or in a group sense, to share some of the examples and to share some of the initiatives.
I think from our perspective within the Federation, it's very much a peer-to-peer vehicle for the Ukrainian chamber to look at what the global movement aspires to as best practice in the way it's operating, from whether it be governance to the new opportunities in delivering new services relevant to the economic development within their business community, to collaborative and partnerships, whether it be with government or other private sector institutions. And very much that's the sort of benchmarking. It's through the programming of WCF where some of that could come to play to help the chamber move forward. One of the key new products that we launched in the Congress in Sydney was a product called Chamber Check, which is a diagnostic tool for chambers of commerce to benchmark themselves in regards to their performance in governance, membership, services, financial operations. And this could be a very useful tool for the chamber to lay out a state of play, but then identify priorities for its future strategic development. So I'd encourage all the chambers, whether it be the national chamber or the local chamber network in the Ukraine, to look at this tool as part of its self-assessment, and then certainly work with us at ICCWCF of the things that we have in our wonderful international toolbox that could help it strengthen.
This is a great opportunity for our members around the world. It's the first time ever that the United Nations has accepted into their room, if you like, a member from the business community. Until now, delegations were country delegations. So it gives ICC and all of its members, first of all, access to a platform to the United Nations General Assembly, where we can table issues which are important for business. We can also present initiatives and, to a certain degree, hopefully, influence some of the discussions. It also is a way for us to get better information back from the United Nations. The United Nations has many different groups all around the world. So it gives us a better connection with them. And to be really the voice of business. We want business to be at the table, and we want business to be looked at as a friend rather than a foe. And we think that governments need us and need business to help them in what they're discussing.
The Ukrainian Chamber is one of 77 national organisations delivering this service. It's an important trade facilitation service, helping companies go abroad, as well as for companies to come into the Ukraine to develop business opportunities. As a paper document, which has been operating for 60 years, like many paper documents, it's disappearing. It's becoming a digital document. And very much, we've begun the work in ICC of digitising quite a heavy and old-looking form, to make it actually much easier for business to go through customs in the future. And this is a key project that we're working on, particularly in light with the European Union's directive by 2020 to see an e-document environment. So certainly the Ukraine Chamber will be instrumental in making sure that we remain on track as part of one of 77 nations to make this work for Ukrainian business.
Ukrainian CCI will be celebrating 25 years next. We are celebrating 100 years next year. We like to think we're a very young 100-year-old. ICC was founded in 1919, after the First World War, on a basis that, and sometimes it doesn't always work, but on the basis that prosperity brings peace. And we think that 100 years later, that's still very true, is that people that are trading together in a successful and in a dynamic way will or should look towards finding peaceful solutions. And that's one of the things, that's one of the first things that I would wish Ukrainian CCI to have. Anybody for their 25th birthday, the first thing you want is peace and prosperity. So I think we wish that. What has changed? In your second question was, how has trade changed? Trade has become faster, more global, and more disconnected from the workplace. You don't need to go into the office every day now to be able to trade internationally. You can do it through a laptop, and you can have access to any country in the world. So we have to also adapt a lot of our tools and our work to be in line with that. I think that the generations to come will change every 5 years, and that technology will bring great advantages, but it would also bring some risks. So I think that there's a very, very positive approach to the future, but we have to, as an organization, accompany business in that.